What else? I went back to Helldivers. So speaking of Mario Kart, and during Mario Kart, I was like, "Oh, Helldivers is available worldwide again," and you guys were like, "Who gives a shit?" Which Reggie actually reached out to me and was like, "Hey, sorry if I hurt your feelings," because he's so sweet.
Well, I do.
And I'm like, "Oh, dude, you don't have to worry about that shit."
I do remember you were like, oh, and in my head I also was like, oh, well, I know the Super Earth stuff is going on, and that does look pretty exciting, but it was a dunk opportunity, and who am I to deny a dunk opportunity?
I just care about the people around the world who didn't get to have Helldivers. But actually, the actual underneath part for real was that Helldivers was really popping. You remember when it came out, it was like everybody was talking about it, and like everybody was invested in the meta narrative. And then Sony did that account stuff, then banned like in 100 something countries, and the vibes just tanked.
Yep.
It killed that game's vibes.
Every time it came up, as the subject wise, it was just like, well, that's some stupid shit. It sucks. Womp. It's not their fault necessarily, but it ruined a lot of the fun people were having with it, for sure.
And so I went back to it, in honor or whatever of everybody but North Koreans and Vietnamese people being able to play it again. And
the North, you say?
What's that? Yeah, North Korea is not allowed. There's like 7 countries still off the list.
Gotcha. Okay.
North Korea, Vietnam. I can't remember the other 5. But going back to a live service game like Helldivers after 390 days away, which I know because I logged in and said, "Here's your reward from 390 days ago."
That's funny.
Is fucking crazy. Just like tutorial explosions and fucking feature just yelling at you.
So this is the question I'm wondering now, right? It's like, is it like a mobile game, like loading back into gacha after a year passes? And like, which is the worst example? Like, I need that's an investigative feature. That's a video right there.
No, I have the investigative report for you right now.
Which game is the worst upon return after?
Oh, the game in general?
Including gacha, including mobile.
I know which one it is.
Which is the most obnoxious?
Can I cheat and use an answer that I've used many times? The worst game you could ever come back to after a long period of time was Destiny 2.
Word again with the fucking Destiny. Okay, all right. Not even some iOS trash.
By far, there's no question. There's absolutely no question.
Hit me, walk me through it.
Okay, so you played Destiny 2 at release, and you did the first 2 mini expansions, and then you did the Forsaken expansion. Then you took some time off, and you're like, oh wait. When you come back to Destiny 2 years later, every part of the game you've ever played has been removed, and then you load in to a tower that's running seasonal events that half of them have disappeared, and the game just says, go do whatever. Just go do whatever. Every gun you ever had been sunset in the background, so none of them can scale upwards, and you have to re-get all of your equipment.
Okay. So when I say worst, I was originally thinking which had the most obnoxious menu things of just fucking collect your for like you got to go through 15 minutes of this. But straight up, you're describing everything you played is gone. Everything you had is now you're not allowed to access it. And it's all been taken away from you.
It's like if I was playing Final Fantasy 14 and I took a break in between like Heavensward and Shadowbringers, and I come back and they're like, Shadowbringers is the new start and all your equipment from before is gone, figure it out. And you're like, what? What are you fucking, what the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean it's fucking gone and my equipment is shit? What the fuck? There's literally no, it might as well be 2 games, but you're using the same account. And you remembered that other game used to exist. It's the weirdest fucking thing. It's
live service was a mistake.
So we can put this into the context of Helldivers. In Helldivers, nothing ever goes away, and their battle passes are fake. Remember, you buy them and they just last forever, and then they're always available. So when you load into Helldivers, all you get every reward for every major operation that ever happened since the day you started playing. So when you log in for the first time, it just says, here's your rewards from 390 days ago. Here's your rewards from 325 days ago. Here's your rewards from 285 days ago.
Here's like 30 capes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I got a bunch of capes and I got some fucking armor and I got the Killzone collaboration shit just dropped into my fucking inventory. And I immediately hit the medal cap.
Oh.
Because I just accrued medals from operations the whole time.
Okay.
So when I came back, I was able to just go, I'll take the demolition war bond that I already had, and I'll just cash it all in, and I just got the whole fucking war bond.
Well, that's nice.
Which is a great feeling to come back to.
That's good. Yeah. Okay.
But what else you come back to is you go into a mission, and you're like, what happened to that planet? Oh, that planet became a black hole. That planet's gone.
Oh, the map has changed. Okay.
All right. Well, the bugs are attacking. Let's go fight the bugs. Okay, well, the bugs have a new mechanic that didn't exist when I played called the Predator Strain, which is the little invisible guys that would chase you, the stalkers. They don't turn invisible. Now they just move twice as fast and kill you in one hit.
Oh.
And this is just a modifier on the mission.
Certain missions. Okay.
And so I load down and, okay, what's happening? Oh, there's a bunch of new ordinances, like people driving cars around. That we got cars now? Oh, okay. And I load into a mission and it's like, you need to decide where you want to put your points in the orbital DSS station, which is the orbiting station that the player base chooses a planet to go put on and get random buffs for a planet. And as I'm trying to figure that out, I'm walking through the bug island. I go, what's that gigantic bug tower in the distance? And then fucking bats attack us. Oh. Because the bugs have flying enemies now.
Okay. They fly now?
They fly now. And then one of the guys on my team has a flag, it calls down a stratagem, and it's just a super Earth flag.
Nice.
And they're running around with the flag and like stabbing bugs with it. And I asked the chat, hey, what's the flag do? And they say nothing. It doesn't do anything. It's just a bad melee weapon.
Use that stratagem. Yeah. I did see some of the super Earth mission stuff where, I saw like what looked like Warthog style driving around as well, which, hopefully it rolls around as shitty and as jankily as you would need it to.
It's a little janky.
Good.
Yeah. And then let's do a mission against the Illuminate. So then we discover that there's city levels now. Mm-hmm. They're like, towns and cities, like skyscrapers. And we load into what I now know was a Illuminate mission that had like a challenge modifier on it. So you load in and you fight the squids, as they are called, and they are not like fighting the bots, and they are not like fighting the bugs. It feels like fighting like alien helldivers, because they have fucking fighter jets like your Eagles strafing you.
Cool.
And they have their own super carriers in the sky that can lock onto you and hit you with artillery from like 10 miles away.
Nice. Yeah.
And it's like dropping into aliens and becoming fucking Private Hudson.
No, the prospect of like fighting the monsters is one kind of vibe, fighting the robots is certainly another.
The Terminators.
Yeah, but then like having that Terran versus Terran sort of style fight.
Oh yeah, it's like an enemy army. Mm-hmm. Instead of the other two, it is like an enemy armed force with air support and vehicles and shit.
Nice. Okay. Interesting.
It's crazy. And then I get back to base and they're like, by the way, primaries can now be upgraded and have weapon customization. So all the primary weapons can now have a wide variety of accessories that you cash in your points on.
Okay. They couldn't before?
Nope. You get a primary and the primary was just hey, this is exactly how it is.
Okay.
So, hey, do you want to put a different scope on, or do you want to have a larger magazine, or do you want to change this or that or whatever?
Okay, so they've been doing it in the meantime.
Dude, that game's great. That game's incredible. Like, just top to bottom. They also added a new fucking difficulty for freaks called Super Hell Dive, which is difficulty 10. which I didn't even bother to look at.
Well, because 9 was just drop and die.
Yeah, well, that for the people who thought that shit was for pussies, here comes difficulty 10.
Okay. I mean, I imagine there's you cannot random queue with that and expect any kind of result.
Yeah, you can.
You have to be coordinating with people.
You can do it with one person, apparently. I just suck shit.
There's always somebody out there. Okay. Yeah, okay. If you dedicate,
there was a thread on the subreddit that was like Pat playing difficulty 6 and going nuts, and it's like me going over like a child's hill, and I'm like, I haven't played in 390 days.
Yeah, I saw the little SpongeBob meme, like just going over the bump difficulty.
What do you want? It's been almost 400 days.
Nah, bro, just don't lose. Crush it.
So yeah, hey, Helldivers 2 now for everybody, and hey, guess what? It's still incredible. And I didn't have a single FOMO.
Not one.
Isn't that nice? Isn't that great?
It's very nice of the people who made the game to not predate on your inner fears of content being missed and going away.
Speaking of, I actually re-canceled my FF14 subscription.
Did you now?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So I want to give a shout out.
Yeah. All right.
There was a thread on the subreddit that was like, hey, do you think Pat's ever going to go back to Warframe? And in that thread, there was a gentleman who said, I don't know, man. Pat's like a FF14 lifer. I don't know if he has time for that in Warframe. And I saw that and was like, hey, I haven't played FF14 in like 2 weeks. This guy's right. I should just go and cancel my sub. So I went and canceled my sub.
Okay. Well, is the makeup sex is worth it though, right?
So here's the issue. The issue is really, really, really simple.
Yeah.
We put the baby. I do my chores during the day. I do a stream. I blah 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 dad stuff. Hey, you know when I play games? 11 p.m. Pacific. That's 2 a.m. Eastern. Do you know what that sucks for?
Meeting
playing
up with
an online
else
MMO
that you want to play with. Yeah, if you're trying to coordinate with friends, that's not going to work.
All of my friends are asleep. And everybody on every server is asleep. Like it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
And I'm under the impression that there's no enjoying the game for you without queuing up with other people. There's no like just jumping on yourself and doing stuff.
No, that is an MMO. That is a massively multiplayer online video game. Right? Like I can hell dive at midnight Pacific. I can run I can climb up to master rank with Elena at midnight Pacific, right? I can play Age of Calamity on my Switch too, whenever the fuck. Right? But you know FF14 is a social game.
But like actually though, like all kidding aside, I applaud your decision to switch the button on and off, because I've long for years talked about how when you are paying for a subscription service, you feel indebted.
But not using it.
Yeah, you feel indebted to your time on it, all right? And like it's not just the FOMO idea, but it's the god damn it, I
just threw $14 in the toilet.
Nothing. I better get on there before the month is done. And like I don't even really want to, but now I feel obligated, right? So that feeling, just going like, no, I'm gonna turn it off and I'll come back, and my data's not going anywhere, right?
I'll come back in 4 years. Yeah, probably.
Your data's not going anywhere, right? There's a
no. Yeah, 14 is rock solid.
Exactly right. So you don't have to worry about that.
There's no fear there.
Yeah. So then that's it. You turn that button off. You don't think about it, and I respect that, because it would certainly bother me to just feel like I'm subscribed to something that I'm not using, and then I'm like feeling obligated to go log in on it.
Yeah.
I can barely.
So yeah, I'll come back. I'll be honest. I'm probably gonna go back to FF14 on like a regular basis. When that baby is in kindergarten. I mean, just straight up.
Like I can barely get, like, when I remember when exclusive costumes were coming to Street Fighter 5 back in the day, and now with some of these stuff as well, you get like, oh, here's the third strike if you want to get like if you want to get the the versus screen for like Third Strike, or all these little things, and you kind of got to go pop on and
fucking time for that.
Yeah, you got to jump on and seasonally keep up with things. And I'm like, oh, you're putting a time limit on me. The moment you put a time limit on me, I'm like, I know it's supposed to push me, but like, I can just as easily compartmentalize that out of my brain. You know?
I can't remember where I read it, and I can't remember like the numbers on it, but basically I remember reading up that like that kind of FOMO time limited thing works incredibly well to retain super players like power users until they miss one. And once the player misses one, the spell is broken.
It's broken forever.
Because then the ability to have all of it is gone.
They're free. Yeah. And I always remember feeling that from way back years ago when Min was telling me about Guild Wars 2 and describing how it's like, yeah, no subscription required, right? Just jump online and play.
That's right.
And I was like, fuck, I wish everything in this genre.
I wish more MMOs were buy to play.
Yeah, that's such a cool idea. And then you're like, oh, expansion? Okay, that's where you gotta, you know, support, spend the money, buy that, you know?
So here's the fun thing about Guild Wars 2.
I'm sure there's a scale that doesn't work at anymore sustainably, I imagine.
Do you know what scale that is?
FF14?
The scale of Guild Wars 2. That is the scale that it doesn't work at.
Oh, shit. Okay. I see.
That game has almost gone under like 4 times.
Failed experiment.
Because they can't actually count on any money coming in.
Yeah, okay. As a business model, the new I guess the idea becomes you must do more frequent seasonal updates than like would be natural. You know, I could see a reason to have like, instead of these like big, you know, like whatever 14.5 or these kind of like massive things, much more small ones to be like, hey, we need some money, hey, we need some money, hey, we need some money, and with a little bit of content.
That's not how that audience works. The audience works in 2 ways: either big bundle of content, so expansion only, right, or a monthly fee that helps incentivize, you know, bi-monthly content drops.
So was there a secondary way to spend money on the game besides these big?
Yeah, it was the in-game cash shop.
Okay.
Which was cosmetics and conveniences and stuff like that, but that's not reliable.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I'm not a fucking video game economist. I couldn't tell you, but I there has to be a better way, you know?
I can tell you that the subscription model, if you get a certain critical mass, allows you to plan out your expansions and plan out your content and roll it out and say, look, you pay us a monthly sub, this is the kind of stuff you get. FF14 has that down to a production pipeline so extreme that people can tell you when patches are going to drop within a 5-day period, because everybody knows their production timeline, right? That's probably too extreme. World of Warcraft would put out an expansion like every year, every 18 months at one point, but like nothing would come out in between that. Like all the content was in the expansion. That was the stuff.
Does anyone do a thing where like there's a monthly subscription, but like there's a free version where you can do way less shit? But it's still
tons of games.
You can still,
tons and tons of games.
Like
every free-to-play MMO is actually still a subscription MMO. Just the free-to-play version sucks.
Right. Okay.
So KOTOR, Star Wars: The Old Republic, it's like that.
Okay.
Where you can totally play it free-to-play if you don't want to have any friends or inventory or sidekick or whatever.
But if you're enjoying yourself, this is a shitty way
then
to
you'll
play
want
it.
you want the subscription. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Well, yeah, no.
So
hit that off
Helldivers just ignores this whole thing and remains a game that I'm like, hey, if I want to play Helldivers today once or for 2 solid weeks in 4 months, Helldivers is there and remains solid. The only thing that I'd miss out on is like, well, I didn't help defend Super Earth. Right. I was busy. Sorry, fellow democracies. I was busy doing stuff.
And that's a game where you can have fun playing solo or queuing up randomly.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
Like worst case scenario, you kick the difficulty down 1. Right? From what you're comfortable with like a group. Oh, I missed out on a cape. Oh well, I don't give a shit.